Are you going places or left behind because you don't have a travel companion? Listen to how you can travel more independently. Dr. Travel Best will bring you the best answers, tips, and hear mistakes so you can benefit.
Welcome to Dr. Mary Travel Best's Independent Travel Guide, a special episode for women like you who need a little extra support traveling the world, one woman at a time. In this episode, the FAQ is, I just don't know how I can afford to see the places that I want to go to on my budget. So how can I save money while I travel to new places? The destination is Iowa City, Iowa. The mistake is switching credit cards in a restaurant. And the tip is find a globe. So here's the FAQ from Linda, who asks, I love to travel, but during time of uncertainty like now, I just don't know how I can afford to see the places that I want to go to on my budget. How can I save money while I travel to new places? So here's your answer, Linda. The best way to save money on travel expenses is to share a room with someone else, if you can. It doesn't always work well for independent travelers, so here are a few other tips to save your hard-earned cash. Number 1, house swap. Number 2, bring a meal with you. Number 3, travel public transportation. Number 4, plan ahead so you don't need to push for time limits. Number 5, work from the road, such as on a dude ranch, a cruise ship, traveling nurse, or tutor. Number 6, bring your work with you so you can work from wherever you are. Number 7, eat a huge lunch so you may be able to have a snack for dinner, and that's all you need. And number 8 is grocery shop instead of eating out. I hope that helps you. Today's episode destination is Iowa City, Iowa. Iowa City is full of the best in Iowa, and it's in the eastern part of the state, about 4 hours drive from Chicago. There's no better place to go than IC. The Hawkeyes, Big Ten football rules here on Saturdays in the fall, and a college town feeling makes this a home for many in the Midwest. My sister has lived there for decades, so I visit when I can and plan to visit again this summer. My favorite things about Iowa City are mostly related to the university. The concerts and music are second to none. The people are genuine. They're hardworking in many ways, and they suffer through a tough winter and come out in the spring refreshed. Now, here are some suggestions of things to do. I would go to the Devonian Fossil Gorge. It's a great place to explore for a few hours. I'd recommend a visit here to see the geological wonders. I found a seashell embedded in a rock. This gorge was formed by 2 floods in 1993 and 2005. It was a campground, now a fossil bed where you can see remnants of sea animals from 375 million years ago. Cross that Coralville Dam and stop at the visitor center. You'll need hiking boots or athletic shoes, and you'll like what you see buried in nature for so long, now seen, thanks to massive floods in the area. Now, what about downtown Iowa City? You could do the Iowa Avenue Literary Walk and visit the famous Prairie Lights bookstore. Prairie Lights Books and Cafe is located at 15 South Dubuque Street, Iowa City, one of the best bookstores anywhere. It's worth a few hours, and it's 3.5 floors big. Do you like owls? You will love the Iowa Raptor Project, seen near Iowa City, where birds are protected and the public is invited. Terry True Blood Recreation Area is for bird watching and just being outside in the fresh air. Go for it when you're in Iowa City. Here's a few other places to visit. The old Capitol building, the state's first capitol, now houses a museum of local history. And the adjacent University of Iowa Museum of Natural History features prehistoric stone tools and taxidermy. By the Iowa River, City Park has ponds and sports facilities. East, the Herbert Hoover Presidential Library and Museum displays objects and photos tracing the life of the 31st U.S. president. Now for today's mistake. Switching credit cards in a restaurant. I was in a restaurant in Hawaii with a large family group. We had the buffet and the same bill. So we handed in our credit cards and the waitress split the check. After adding a tip and signing, we left. That night, my credit card would not work. I didn't think much of that. We went sightseeing, went to the zoo, and more. And that night, while paying for dinner, I noticed that my credit card was my brother-in-law's, who had the same last name. Oh boy. Well, that took a while to settle, mail the cards back, and pay the difference in what I had spent. The lesson is, check your credit card, make sure you got yours back from the server, and don't make my mistake. Now for today's travel advice. Get a globe. If you don't have one, find one. It's one of those things you will tend to spend time looking at more than you think. If you love travel, your globe looking will satisfy your curiosity. I used to have a globe jacket, so you can find them in many ways and materials. I want to bring meaning to your travel, so send me your travel tip or question. And you can send it to my Facebook page, group, Instagram, Twitter, blog, and maybe you'll see your tips in my next travel book on independent travel for women, especially after coronavirus. What's on your bucket list?
What's on your travel bucket list? Tell the doctor and her team of women who travel the world seeking the very best. Dr. Travel Best, that is.